Women of Reddit, what is something men do that they think is sexy/attractive but really isn't? Going to into great detail about all the things they are going to do when they get you in bed, and then doing exactly zero of those things. Don't bring me into the bedroom thinking I'm getting an evening of kink and pleasure when the reality is 10 seconds of jackhammer decks that's only enjoyable for you. I'm going to roll you up in a blanket and feed you pizza. Stop. I can only get so direct. Dated a guy once that took the masculine thing too far. I couldn't call him cute without him flipping out. He wouldn't ever call anything cute either. Wouldn't even run his hands through my hair because it was too girly. Guy I'm with now falls asleep playing with my hair, and it is heaven. I once overheard someone use the phrase he's the kind of guy who won't wash his asshole because he thinks it would make him gay. I feel like it fits the person you're describing. My favorite I've overheard is he's so homophobic he'll eat a banana sideways. On dating websites, post photos of them posing with at least 8 scantily clad women who work at the tropical resort that the guy is staying at. How is that a thing? How would anyone think this was a good idea? See what girls I can pay to stick around me. Be thankful I might bone you. Can't wait to receive my crumb of doc. I felt compelled to recite this line in a Russian accent. Did not disappoint. In Soviet Russia, doc sucks you. Being overprotective in a cringy way. I have nothing against a guy who is considerate, but I really don't need someone who wants to punch every other guy that just looks at me, or even someone who makes shit up. Like I heard these strangers over there talking shit about you and frowning at them. Like what the frick dude, make me feel safe if you want to, but don't make me feel like I am made of glass. Order my food for me, not in a cute, I know what she wants kind of way, but a dominant whole kind of way. I once was taken on a date. He insisted in driving and drove like a jackass there and back, blasted the same T-Pain song over and over. Then as we proceeded to order, he ordered everything for me, from the water to my horrible salad. I still paid half the bill. One of the worst dates ever. 0 out of 10 would recommend it dating this guy. It's not Pain's fault. He might need to buy her a drink though. Trying to prove that they are smarter than me. Dude, I want to be able to have a normal conversation with you. Stop interrupting me and actually listen for a second. You might recognize that I too have something interesting to contribute to the conversation. I knew a guy who loved using very specific terminology about their field. When I asked him questions about his work, I straight up told him, dude, I'm trying to talk to you. Blabbering on in terminology you know I don't know. Just to look smart makes me not want to talk to you. Just speak like a normal person. I know some very educated people who do this, but it's completely by accident. They spend years in their social circles, where everyone is extremely educated on a very specific topic, and then they start to forget that most people don't know and don't care about that topic. Scientists can be really bad about this. Bragging about how expensive their house/car/boat/etc is, or how much money they make. It's great to share your passions and talk about your job, but if all you're interested in is material items and money, I'm immediately turned off. I'm trying to hide how much money I put into my project car, so you don't see it as a red flag that it is. I5YOU*. The amount of money I've put into my project cars is absolutely disgusting and irresponsible. I mean ladies? Question mark? Duck. Compare me to other girls in a way that's supposed to make me feel special, but is actually just demeaning to every other woman on the planet. Things like most women only want chads who will treat them like shit. I'm happy you're not like that. Or other females of plastic bimbo ditches who are only out for money. I'm happy you're not a gold digger. Say that enough, and I start hearing I hate women, but I'm nice to you because I think you're duckable. Along this vein, acting like it's bad taste all aimed to like music/hobbies/movies/activities that are stereotypically female populated. One could simply be neutral toward it instead of saying it's bad, especially if you haven't tried it. Plenty of girls engage in male populated hobbies and don't disparage them. Talking about feelings, listening to pop music, interest in design/fashion, watching romantic movies, painting nails and playing less violent games is as valid and awesome a lifestyle as that of a person who likes functional task-oriented discussion, metal, FPS games, skateboarding, and action movies. For the record, I say this as someone whose hobbies lie in all the above areas. It is just frustrating when guys put down some of these interests thinking that it makes you manly. No, it makes people insecure, which makes them act more clingy / annoying / unreasonable. Just appreciate and validate people's interests. I kid you not. Even though it was just a friend, not a romantic interest, I had this dude who was ripping into Wonder Woman, and how much it sucked, right after I said I enjoyed it. Mind you, I said I liked it and I was entertained for 2 hours way not I examined it from every fucking angle, and decided it was the perfect movie ever made way. He then went on a rant about how forced diversity was ruining Marvel 2, which at that point I'm tuning out his voice, but I still try to change the convo. So I say, what are your fave movies then? So he goes on to say he loves Star Wars prequels, like not ironically, or for the memes, sure, my dude, sure. Bragging about things that they shouldn't brag about to make themselves seem more manly, that is, not caring about their hygiene or skincare, not knowing how to look after a child, not knowing how to cook, not wanting to clean up after themselves, or clean a house, not wanting to read books to better themselves, or trying new things, etc etc. Even worse when they shame other men for it. This is literally the adult toddler in my house right now. I can confirm, there is now 0% attraction to him. Are they your romantic partner or just housemate? It's her dog, baby. Bragging in general. I've had men tell me, on first dates, about their salary, their cars, how hot their last GF was, their stock investments, how much money they made on Bitcoin, how early they got into Tesla, their employee number at major tech company, how much cash they have on hand, etc. Such a turn off. Can someone explain to me why exactly they do it? Insecurity? The belief that men are supposed to provide resources, so they are helpfully showing me this. The inability to comprehend that I'm a person who wants to like you as opposed to be dazzled by you. Disclaimer, please read the edit before you come at me or get butt. Simply liking coffee and the Smiths doesn't make you a soft boy. The whole soft boy demeanor. While you read, listen to Arctic Monkeys and the Smiths, drink your coffee black, know the basics of acoustic guitar or bass, smoke cigarettes and weed, drink whiskey, write poetry, and are too broken and attached to ever truly love anybody after that one time you got your heart broken when you were 17. Amazing. Now get out of my DMs talking about that glimmer in my eye and smirk in my smile that made you know there was something about me, or even how we can be ex together, or play the big talk about being too broken to love, but claim to have fallen in love with me after like 2 weeks of sparse conversations where you spout fake deep bullshit. The Instagram account BMUBSoftBoy is a great example of this oddly popular niche group of guys. Edit, nothing is wrong with any or those interests. I have a lot of them myself, which is how I end up in the same circles as so many of them. The only problem girls have with soft boys is how they act in DMs. This one made me laugh. Indeed, it made me laugh long enough to think that maybe there's something about you. Something real to be found. I love you, but I'm scared. All of this was said while hiding in the bush outside the front door. Bragging about things that they shouldn't brag about to make themselves seem more manly, that is, not caring about their hygiene or skincare, not knowing how to look after a child, not knowing how to cook, not wanting to clean up after themselves, or clean a house, not wanting to read books to better themselves, or trying new things, etc etc. Even worse when they shame other men for it. This is literally the adult toddler in my house right now. I can confirm, there is now 0% attraction to him. Are they your romantic partner or just housemate? It's her dog, baby. A bit of a contradiction, but when a guy is either a duck boy or a nice guy, no one, female or otherwise, needs some grade A mega douche making you feel inadequate, nor does anyone need some spineless storm at putting people on a goddamn pedestal and dropkick your ass off of it the moment you reject him. Confidence and kindness are sexy/attractive in a man, and people in general, but not when someone takes it to the extreme. Edit, added the dropkick part. Ducking balance. No one considers balance anymore. You don't need to be all one side of the spectrum. Sending big pics. Unsolicited big pics make you a shooty person in my book. It's not any different than flashing someone on the bus without their consent. It's creepy and unwanted, and you shouldn't do it. I think pretty much everyone other than people who send unsolicited dick pics have the same opinion, LMAO. The Tinder squint, which they think makes them look like a moody lead singer on an album cover, when it actually makes them look like Renee Zellweger just smelled a fart. Can you find a sample of this? Jaden Smith. Like the guy version of a trout pout. If you have to constantly tell people how big of a deal you are, you're not a big deal. Also, don't be a jerk to the staff. Yes please. If you're awful to hardworking people who just do their jobs, you're awful in general. Such a turn off. I get really embarrassed when someone I'm with is rude to workers. I usually call them out on it there, but god, it's humiliating. I agree so much. Plus, I'm a big believer that you should treat others like you want to be treated. So I really try to treat other people the same way I want them to treat me. And that's, I want to be treated nice. It speaks volumes about their character. If they are harsh to wait staff, they are cruel to people with less power. No, thank you. Subscribe and leave a like.